I was singing right along with that. Um, Happy day, everybody. Happy Tuesday. And boy, have we got a show for you today. It's hard to even say this is a show, but it is a show. And I just think of it as sharing, a sharing time. And I have an incredible person that I have with me to share this time with, and that's Desiree Valdez. Hi, Desi. How are you?
Hey, so happy to be here. Blessings.
That was like perfect. I was like singing the song, and I'm like, whoa, we're on now.
Yeah,
Oh,
same here. I was like,
I love that song. And I think Eli, are you in here? My Eli, my singing puppy, who sings with me, Desiree. So I post as much as I can. It's hard when he's singing the song because I'm usually listening on my phone, but he loves A Better You. He will sing it with me, all the words. He can sing and he can make the sounds of the words and the emotion of the words. All
yeah.
my songs he loves, but that one's in particular, I think he really loves A Better You. So anyway, he's
uh,
here. I know he's so cute. He's such a cute boy.
well,
So
it's on my playlist. It is. It's on my playlist. It is. It's. I confess. It's so true.
it's a
I
good
loved it.
song.
Yeah, and the Warrior song too. The Warrior song.
Yes,
Yeah.
just all of it. I mean, I just love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's been weird is like I've been so busy. I have so many songs I want to finish, and one of them I really want to get done before Christmas. It's called A Box of Memories. I've been saying that like
Mm,
over a year now to get this song done. I think because it's so sad. I know I will
mm,
cry the whole way through it because it's literally about talking about all the memories and how important memories are. But when you open up the memories, you have to experience the emotions. And during the holidays, so this is a perfect segue. During the holidays, I am like a record player. If people remember record players, but I'm a record player repeating. I repeat the memories during the holidays. And I find also that as memories repeat themselves during the holidays, where I fall into a sadness frame of mind, or I can, feel those memories and loss of, missing my mom, or missing memories of the family that I had before, or the things that we've lost. But it's how do we stay in a better place, a better you, a better me, while we go through these memories that are always going to happen during the holidays. I was telling Desiree that just last week we have a series of birthdays. It starts with Joe, then it goes to me, then it goes to Tristan, then it goes to Mark, and we have them one after the other. And so by the last birthday, it's like, oh my goodness, thank you. But there's always been some sort of like by that one, there's a lot of emotions that go with all of these birthdays. And so I think that one, I found that I think I did better through all the rest of the birthdays than I normally do. But then this one, I did seem to kind of hold on to some energies and memories. And I have not been eating as healthy as I normally eat. And I haven't been doing prayer and fasting either the last few days, or even intermittent fasting. So it's made me really think about how can we as people like myself or Desiree, how can we share how to bump out of that? What can help us to lift ourselves out of the funks that we're in? And I will say that the reason like this, the past other birthdays, they went very smoothly because I was staying in a spiritual frame of mind. I did a lot of prayer and fasting, and I did a lot of intermittent fasting, but I am very self conscious, or conscious about prayer and keeping myself in an elevated state of mind to where like God is with me. God is like, if God is with me, what is that? what is that verse? If God is with me, who could be against me? Right? What was that? Is that Desiree? We need Joshua, brother Joshua, here because he'll know. He'll know exactly which one that is. If God is not for me, who
Yeah,
can be
I think
against
the New
me?
Testament is for us, then who can, if God is for us, then who can be against us? And I want to say like it's in the Old Testament, and is
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but
find out right now.
okay, but isn't that the truth though? Like, so that's how I've been kind of walking in warrior mode. I've been walking in faith, strength, and courage, as our Bill Bean says, and hi. And so that I find that I just thought that's a great subject for the show because we need to think about how can we on this day right now, knowing that Thanksgiving is just around the corner. We've got lots of food coming our way. Everybody's kind of getting into this holiday spirit, like we're preparing. Everywhere you go, people are out shopping. I was just in the store yesterday and I was like, there are so many people in this store and they're all getting Christmas stuff, preparing for Christmas and the holidays and Thanksgiving. And so to me, that also means a lot of emotions, a lot of sadness, a lot of memories. And I tend to be a person that will overeat during the holidays. And this year, I just don't want to do it. And I've done so well on the birthdays, except this last one. I mean, I literally made it through my birthday with no birthday cake. That's my first year ever. And I know that sounds weird, but I didn't want a birthday cake because all I do is eat the birthday cake and then I don't feel good and I don't feel happy after I eat it. If I could just have one piece and walk away, that'd be great, but I can't. So this time I made a choice to not have a birthday cake. So, and I felt better about that. I actually felt healthier about that too. So it was a good choice. So Desiree, what do you feel about this subject and how we can we can actually say that this weight loss journey and health journey is a spiritual journey.
Hmm. Well, yes. There's a couple of things. Okay, it's actually in New Testament, just to say, to go, it's Romans 8:3-1, and it is and God works in all things, and it says, what then shall we say these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? Yay. Okay.
Hey, because
Yes.
and when
That
we
was
are thinking about like how if people are coming after us, or we're feeling like there's people maybe saying things about us, or that I mean I just know from dealing with a lot of people that they there's a lot of people out there that feel like people are almost like persecuting them. They're mad at them. They're saying things that hurt them. Um, and they're dealing with those emotions. And so part of my work is also to help people with their emotions by praying for them and releasing these emotions from their bodies and their mind and calming them. That's part of the work I do. So it makes sense to me to try to figure out like, but truly the enemy's out there, but if you do have God with you, then the enemy really doesn't have much of a chance to really win because God is the greatest source of strength that we have. Right, Des?
I totally agree with you. And I've always struggled with my weight. I've been one of those people. You know, I looked into, is it genetically? I don't know. I mean, growing up, I come from a Hispanic kind of culture. I was raised Chicana, so like that kind of lifestyle. It's like food and culture kind of you know aren't sometimes the healthiest choices. And so then when I did learn about healthy food in my life, it was still a battle because, yeah, like I want to say there is a spiritual battle about that. I don't know much. I'd say, like, I haven't studied that. I'm sure if we had one of the epidemiologists here or something, they'd probably be able to give more information because it feels like there is, because it is a spiritual warfare. I mean, when you look at everything's, as we know in Ephesians and in the armor of God, we wrestle with our flesh, but it's all in the spirit. Everything's in the mind first, in our minds. And so like I was also telling if for an example, like, I don't need that blizzard late at night, but I may want that blizzard, that comfort food, or that go to, that quick impulsive reflex that what we know is like a flesh desire, rather than maybe um a date, or like a prune, or like a dried fruit, something, or some water, or maybe listening to my body, and maybe I'm tired, and that's in my mind is needing something else. Maybe I'm a little bit more overstressed, so my body is releasing different toxins, or chemicals, and so I need to reassess myself. And this takes time, it takes patience, and it takes prayer, examination, because I have to discern my feelings, versus like logic. And then again, from my feelings, what is me, and then what is influencing my feelings, and then here's where we go to well, how I understand the word of God, and how it's like the word of God's alive and active and separating. And this is where I take away, the emotional, fleshy, or what may be influencing me, versus, what I can address. And so when you are growing up with a constant mindset of, hey there, big girl, and I'm always thinking that I'm a big person because at one time I was, it could be troublesome, and always constantly put myself in a snare. And so a higher frequency, like Mercedes was saying, positive thoughts. We also know this as a positive, image and mindset, and so no, we also understand spiritual warfare. No, you tell that other voice, or that other person, whatever it is, like, no, you know what? I'm doing okay. I'm doing good. I'm made in the image of God, and I'm doing the best that I can. And that's how I try to rise above, and I take it one step at a time, and I make sure that I just try to do the best that I can, and align myself to how I can without hurting myself, in truth and being honest. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. I really appreciate you sharing that because, I think a lot of people can relate to that, what you're saying. And I think it's important, Desiree, what you said, just that somebody had called you, hey, big girl. And, people don't realize that, from a small child, you start calling them names or just like in a fun name, but that can stick with you for your whole life. And when you're a little girl or girl, I guess you don't want to be the big person or whatever. I in a way I think about what's happened the last few years about the evolution of women and or men that want that are that are overweight and that they have been shunned a lot of their life. I mean, they have been made fun of. I mean, I know I have gone up and down on the scale my whole life. I mean, I spent a lot of my life little, but then I think there was a point where I gained weight, then I had to lose that weight, then I gained, I had to lose that weight. So I have had a yo-yo. I mean, yo-yo kind of a thing. But I remember as a child that um, and I wasn't big at all, really. I wasn't. But through my mother's eyes, I guess I was. But I wasn't. I look back at pictures and I think, what the heck? I was not even big. But I always felt like I was being put on a diet. I always felt like I was supposed to be 20 pounds, I guess, lighter than I was normally. And so it was one of those weird things that I grew up with, always having a look at myself like I was not looking at myself like other my mother looked at me, and maybe others did too, but I really didn't notice anybody. It was, and I don't mean to say anything bad about my mom, but I kind of that's how I kind of grew up, that type of thing where I felt like I just needed to be always be 20 pounds lighter, and I was only like 120, 119 pounds at that time. So, and when I look back on it, I think to myself, I don't know how that was something that was happening really, but I didn't mean to get off on that track. But it is part of what happens as you grow up, and it continues to be a part of your life to where you always feel like if you're just a little bit thinner, just a little bit less. But the truth is now, I think when I look at it from who I am today in this body, in this person, Desiree, I think of it as health. I really do, in a health way, because I think we can get away with our weight fluctuating and our different weights throughout our life, but there comes a certain time, at least for me, when all of a sudden it became important that I couldn't keep. I have to really consider it as a health choice. So that's why talking about this for going into the holidays, I think is important, because I think a lot of people just don't put the connection together that really, could God actually help me to lose weight? Or could God help make it easier for me to eat healthier? Could God help me make it easier for me to have a better choice or think of it in a different way? Could God lift that off of me to where, like, I don't want those french fries. I don't want to stop at McDonald's. I don't want to just, I want to think about it before, like Desiree's talking about, she could have made a different choice. I don't know if she had that blizzard or not, but I mean, how many times? Yeah. So this last few days, um, if the in the refrigerator, let's see if there's something in there. If I wanted, just instead of me thinking about it, I just would, I just eat it, and then the next day I don't feel good. So to me, it's like it becomes a real radar, boom, boom, boom. Hey, instead of like I could go a week or two eating however I wanted without having any consequences to my actions. Now it's like within 24 hours, there is a consequence where I just don't feel good. And it's like I don't know if it's God in a way, through God working through my body saying, nope, that's it. You're not doing that anymore, because this is what happens when you do that. If you don't pay attention, if I don't drink enough water,
Mhm.
if I wake up in the morning, early in the morning, and I'm like thirsty, like my throat hurts because I didn't drink enough water that day, the day before. So I mean, before I didn't notice that, but now I'm like, wow, you're thirsty. My body was telling me when I woke up, and I'm like, wow, I'm sorry, body. I'm really sorry. And I want to take care of my body. It's like when I go to work, when I water my plants outside, we don't have a water system. So everything I do is we water them by hand. Or, so it's a lot of work, but it's so relaxing to me. And it's like very spiritual, very comforting for me to water my plants and water the trees and water everything. And I think about, like, wow, all they get is water. My dogs and my cats and all the animals, they just get water. They get water and they get a certain amount of food. They can't just go eat whatever they want. They can't go drink a Coke if they want. They just have to have water. They're on a routine, right? And I think to myself about that too. Like, how did, like, what would it be like if that was our routine? And you've been in the service. You've
Mhm.
and you had a routine, and I think we've talked about this, where you like routine,
I do.
structure. Yeah, and I think that is, if we think about, like, in a way, is that not what, if we could structure our life where we did have prayer, where we did have a time where we are giving thankfulness for our food, for our water. I mean, I do that every day, every drink I take, every bite I take, I say thank you. Desiree, what do you think about that? Like, everything I've just said, I know I kind of combined it all, but what are your
No.
those? I know I kind of.
No, it's totally cool. I love it because, like, you think some of the things that I think too. And like sometimes when like life or just processing, I guess, as we're growing and we're walking with God and as we're like, and as you're saying in your podcast, I mean, God is part of your life is prayer, and it's that relationship. Prayer is also kind of like sometimes like hand in hand, like in breathing, because it's just a conversation. A prayer is, you ask a person and everybody can say, well, I think we can all agree it's a communication. And now how we communicate, I see everybody may have their differences, but, still, so prayer, like, no. So for us to be talking about that, yeah, I say the same things. And that's why I love being around like animals, natures, and whatnot, because everybody, they all understand their assignments. They all understand their purpose. A sister of Christ of mine always reminds me sometimes when my mind is just like going in circles, and she's like, look at the stars. They don't ever have to compete because they all shine. Each of them all shine equally in their own, like, beautiful, like God made them all each. And I was like, you're right, because we all shine. All of us shine, all equally. We all shine in our own way. God made us all, beautiful as we are. If we can just all embrace that and understand that, and just realize that that is our purpose, just to be children of God, or just to be us, and really it is who we are, just loving people filled with love and light and peace. The differences, and I've talked to so many different people from all kinds. Doesn't matter. We all come as the humanities, as humans, of just wanting to just have safety and peace and tranquility and love. It's like now, how we reach that, is this is where everyone says, but I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, who says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And I have been in many paths, and so far I can testify that this is the awesomest one so far. Sorry, it's just been so awesome. It's just been so awesome. It's been really great. So,
I'm telling you, I am with you. I mean, I think I'm
it's
just
just been really cool. I mean, even for
woo.
this prayer life, I mean, because like, I don't know what people are talking about, because having a relationship with Jesus and with God is just like, yes, because like you're saying, the structure, but it's not like the way people make it seem like constricting or anything. No, it's an understanding. He walks with you. He like actually helps you transform. Like how you were talking about your throat. I totally understand what you're saying. I don't know, because I've been in those same kind of questions myself. Because as I have been growing closer with God in my prayer, in my relationship as well, I noticed, I mean, I started with I think the first diet or biblical or scripture diet that I taught myself, or I learned, was called the Daniel fast. And I had
Yeah,
to look that up. I was like, what's that? And I
yeah.
was like, oh, I could do that, but it was more reading the book of Daniel. It was more spending time and learning about the history. I was on a lesson plan. So it was like learning about the word with God and fasting. And so it kind of opened my eyes to something deeper, a different revelation of how I can, grow, not only with my self with God, but like, just in my life overall, so I could continue walking in light, continue walking in truth, continue walking during times that are stressful, that may seem chaotic, that may seem like times like now when I don't know what to do, when I'm just so overwhelmed. I can just like, oh, I can fall on like the Daniel fast, that's a go-to. I'm familiar with that. I know that, there's word in there. I know that my body can receive this well, and it could be fine. But no, I totally understand. I know, but it's true. I know that my dog would drink water all day long. She don't care if it's like, Kool-Aid or not, but I totally understand what you're saying. It's just us. We're humans, it's just who we are. Why did he bite the apple? I have no idea. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's a podcast for that, but I don't know. Not right
But
now.
that's isn't that true though? That I mean, that is a good thought on that. But yeah, and I wonder, Des, on when you were in the service,
Mhm.
what was that like? What was that like with your food and your drink and your water? Was that regimented, like really, like you think it was?
Yeah, it was. I'll say that thankful for my dad that raised me, because he was a military man, had a background, and so and I grew up in a time when we were just thankful and blessed to eat the food that was on our plate. I'm not familiar, and forgive me, but how it is, and where people have these options and people just dismiss food, and I don't know. We had to eat what we were given, and so yeah, it was just an understanding and a thankfulness. So the military though was absolutely it was hurry up, eat it now, swallow it and taste it later. So you kind of it really was. Swallow it now, taste it later, and make sure don't get caught chewing. And so it
Is that just,
was
like,
you had to
all the time? Or just, like,
yeah, it's just during the I don't know how it is now. I mean, this was back in what, 95, 96. Well, I'm sure that they got it different now because
I don't
people are
know.
complaining. I have no idea. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's cool. It makes you make a decision and commit. It makes you stand. It makes you like absolutely you can't be somebody like I have a tendency to like look at every angle and like weigh things out and like observe and everything. Yeah, I didn't have the chance to do that. I was like scrambled eggs, you know what I mean? It's like no eggs, it's like whatever. It was like yes or no, water milk, juice, no, or sometimes you just didn't even have that choice. And so then that was cool. That was okay too, because then it's like, okay, well now I know what I want next time, so it gave me goals. I always looked at things as challenges. And so yeah, it was pretty intense.
Well, you
I don't
probably
know.
that's I mean, I would think you could probably easily lose weight simply I'd be
A
down to,
lot of
like,
people
maybe
do.
90
Yeah.
pounds.
Oh yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of people do. Yeah, plus too, it's just a different style. It's just a different style of food.
Yeah.
And then I was in the Air Force, and so I mean, our food was supposed to be better than Army and Navy and Marines and stuff. So I mean, we had omelets. So I'll never forget that. I, I had an omelet. Who gets omelets in boot camp? That was
Wow.
crazy.
How long did you serve?
Yeah, but
How long were you doing that, Des? How long?
oh man. Ooh, that is a whole podcast.
Well,
Oh yeah, that is like
because, I mean, I know
yeah,
we were
that
talking
is
about
that's a,
I know that Archbishop Ron was talking about that, talking about you
yeah,
on
I
our
know.
last podcast on the Unseen Realm, which is every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific
Mhm.
Standard Time. And he was talking, making sure people knew about Desiree and all the men,
I know. All
all
those
the
in
men
service,
and women
yes.
except for me served.
Really?
I didn't serve, no,
Oh,
no,
oh,
not me.
okay. It's all
I
right.
I never wanted to. I mean, and I think I just that wasn't. I just never wanted to do that. But then as I looked at it, I guess maybe it was even where I lived. Like I didn't really see any military or anything in where I grew up. But when we moved
Mm.
to Arizona, and into the Tucson area, and I'm like, there's bases here. You see all these people, you see all them everywhere, and it's like, wow, this is really amazing. I mean, they've got these amazing places they get to live, and then I'm like, this would be a great opportunity. And I just was never around it in my area, and so, and also there really wasn't. It was mainly men that did that. We didn't.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know. The first I remember was a movie with Goldie Hawn. Remember
Oh
she was,
yes.
and then that was
Private
like,
was it
oh
Private
yeah,
Ryan, I
they're gonna
think,
do
or
that. So that, I mean, I don't know.
Private
I'm,
Benjamin or
yeah,
something? I forgot what it was she
yeah, I'm
was.
kind of dating myself, I guess, but whatever. But yeah, so
I know her.
I guess I mean, I just that was my life went a different route. But I do applaud you for what you did. I applaud you for what
Oh, well, you know what? I'm just gonna be very modest and be like, it was brief. I had a introduction and I learned about our government and I learned a lot. And I was successful. I was very good. In fact, I was too good. And because I was so But yeah, I was very good. I was one of the right out of training. I was asked to go and teach in the security police academy there at the training squadron. That was pretty cool. I helped out with the I was like a young airman to do the was it self-defense and firearms training. Yeah, I mean, all over the place. It was pretty cool. And because a lot of this experience is what helped when I left into well, civilian world, or like, you transition from federal into here. And I worked state, but then I worked state. And then I did a lot of like law enforcement in state, and then from there I took it into the federal. And so I started working for the Department of Justice and the Bureau of Prisons. And
Wow,
so
Desiree, what a
yeah, I did
life.
all that time.
You should really write, get that book written.
I know, right? I know.
And it
Yeah.
could be a whole thing about what you just said. Like I can imagine how interesting
Oh,
that
I know. Yeah, we could totally have like a whole different conversation. I mean, like, I saw a lot of stuff because I was so young. I was like 19 or 19, I'm sorry, like 20, 21, 21. I was so young and naive. And so a lot of things that I saw is like, I didn't even know like existed, in my eyes. So it was very, I can say, I just, I learned a lot. Just like you said, we lived a lot.
well, so now that you've shared that, do you feel as if on a spiritual note that because you have lived so many mm, have you've had so many experiences in your life, ups and down, highs and lows, and
Mhm.
and you have also been a person that has experienced ups and downs, highs and lows in your weight and your emotional, feelings about weight, like just like me. How do you believe now in this journey that you're on right now, the walk you're walking? How is walking with God helping you to be more, in alignment with feeling happy, being able to create better choices for yourself, all of the good things that working with God creates.
Yeah. I honestly couldn't do it without him. I couldn't do it without his spirit. It's greater is he in me than he in the world, honestly. It's really through God's spirit and his strength that is like that keeps me, like honestly, that's how like personally, no matter what's going on in my life, good or bad, thick or thin, that's my go-to, you know. Doesn't matter. And it always has been, even when I was angry, even when I was sad, even when I felt alone, even when I was in the top of my life. I always still made sure to give thanks, and I always made sure to you know have a conversation, a relationship. So how that's how it's not by me, because I know what I've done. I've given up in life. I've done that many times, and it's only him. It's through his works, through his power. And so that's what I'd say.
A big hug.
So yeah.
I mean, yeah. So do you think that, like you said, do you feel like your whole life you actually were still talking to God, or were, and then that, I think I was too. So I'm just curious about you. Do you, like, I know now
Um,
it's more all the day, every day, all the time. Do you think
you
that you were always conversing too?
I'll even say even now, even like as I say, like I've seen in spirit, heavenly things, and I testify and whatnot. There are times when I have my own battles. I think we all do, just as believers, just as people. I mean, it's scripture, I don't think. darkness doesn't discriminate anybody. That's why we're supposed to test the spirits. And so when I was a kid, and in times in my life when I was away, he was there, I just didn't recognize him. And I hear other people talking to me when they think that they are talking to other deities, or they are have been saved, and they're like, I don't know what that was, it was kind of something bright, and I'm thinking, man, that sounds just like God, like, don't you know about this in the Bible? Here, let me help you. I think sometimes, a lot of times, actually, God is in our lives, but we don't recognize him. We don't know him. We don't see him, or we do, but we don't want to believe, like, what? No way. Couldn't have done that for me. Yeah, God can do it for you. Don't believe the world when they make people believe, like, oh, you have to be in this certain type of criteria of clothes, you have to have this certain type of wealth, you have to be this certain color, you have to have this. Don't listen to that, okay? Because the truth of it is that God is spirit. And I'm talking about God I am, and if I could, and he's spirit. And so in the spirit, there is none. There is no gender, there is no sex, there's no male, no female, no Gentile, no Jew, no nothing. We're all just one with God. And so anybody that tries to put a restriction on that, a legalism, a religious, of whatnot, you're putting God in a box. And I welcome anybody, please, to please correct me or sharpen me, because I feel, not even feel, but I'm more than confident, and supporting this with the slices of bread that I have, because that is, I'm telling you the truth. And so God is spirit, and so he is there, and he's there for all of us. You take anybody in the Bible, and where were they? We are all broken. What does the spirit says? That in our weakness is when Christ's perfection is in us. So it's not like, oh, I have to be perfect. No, there's only one perfect, spotless Lamb of God, and his name is Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Those of us that believe and that follow him. Other than that, that's it. Not that's it, but I'm saying, so this image where people have to be this certain, no, God can come to you in your need, in your illness, in your darkness, in your sadness, in your wrestling, when I should have, do God, should I get this like blizzard from DQ or not? Yes, even in those moments, for me, yes, because there is nothing. I'm a child of God. I believe in him. And if I'm seeking his wisdom, if I'm seeking his knowledge, am I seeking to do something to keep me aligned within him? Yes. Yes, he's going to make them. Don't let the world tell you anything different, because they want to steal, kill, and destroy. No, that's not the truth. The truth is God is love. That is the truth. God is love, and it's written in the Bible. And so I stand firm on that. Sorry.
No, don't ever say you're sorry on this show about talking about God. Never say that.
Here,
What you
yes.
said is the truth. What you said is the truth. And I think it's important because, like, really, we're going into Thanksgiving just next week, right? It's like very
Yeah.
quick coming here. And then that's a time for me, like, when I know you're supposed to be with all your family, and the family is, a lot of families are separated, and or death has come, and they've gone, you know, and a lot of people are having hard times knowing that those days are coming. And so I think that for those people that, the holiday season can be a time of sadness, knowing, I think everybody wants it to be a happy time, but it can be like a very sad time. And then because you're sitting down possibly at a dinner table and somebody is not there anymore, like your mother or your father, your sister, brother, whoever. But I'm here to tell you that I believe that they are very much still a part of our lives, that they are very much, with us. They're just in God's kingdom. They're with God. And so we have to somehow, I think the more conscious I am about God, the more I know. that God has saved me so much, and I've felt it. I've seen Jesus. I mean, like I've even posted a video. Like I woke up one morning and Jesus was right there. He was sitting right with me. I mean, just as real as can be. And a miracle happened that day, a literal miracle. And Jesus was saying to me, everything's going to be all right. And that's not the first time. I've had this experience with Jesus actually really, like I heard his voice singing to me the same thing. It's all right. There's the song. I've literally been blessed because I've actually had contact where it was so real. It was real. It was Jesus. And those are the moments in my life where I can literally just say it out loud. Like, it's real. Jesus has saved my life. And God and the Holy Spirit and all these the holidays coming up, when I know that that is a real reality in my reality, it makes it so much easier for me to get through each day. And so the prayer and fasting element of my life is my base. It's like my base now. So like I can depend on that and I know it works. So when the holiday blues start to come, try this out. Try this out. Just start your day off with a prayer. Do the Lord's Prayer. That's one of my favorites. If you have a different prayer, fine. But you can continually say this prayer through any time of your day. I am always saying a prayer. If I have some kind of question or something that comes at me where it's it's an emotional type of attack or whatnot, or just an emotional pull or tug, I can immediately say the Lord's Prayer and I can just stop and I can ask God to help me just to get through that moment. There was a time in my life where I had to pray a lot. I mean, Desiree probably doesn't know this, but like there was a time in my life where like I don't think I could even get through the day. Like it was almost like second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour, and then day by day. And the more I prayed, and this was after the car accidents. And it always makes this. I make it all sound like, oh, the car accidents, and then everything was better. But there was a lot happening in those times, and it was like do or die. And could I do or could I live? Could I die? Or just that feeling that you want to die, that feeling that you don't want to live, that feeling that you just can't do it anymore. You can barely make it out your door. You don't have money. You don't have this. You don't have it. But like all of that was a stepping stone for my faith. And I watched myself back then and now as I do my prayers, how I lift out of it. I lift out of the darkness. And so I'm here to say that I've made sure that this year coming into the birthday season, birthdays used to really get to me because my family was separated for quite a while. Some of us still are, but those birthdays were always the hardest for me in holidays. They were devastating to me, and it became like, oh my God, can I just skip them? Can I skip them over, and can I not deal with them? I don't want to deal with them, but you can't. When you have a child or you have children or whatever, you have to continue to be the strong person, right? So I have watched myself, especially these last 10 years, and then um, the last few years, how I have managed to, I've changed and shifted the process of going through these emotional times where the battle is, it was almost like a battle, holiday blues. But I have literally lifted myself out of that through prayer. And now this time it was through prayer and fasting that shifted all of those emotions. And it's just a shift in reality because I think to myself, there's a book. I can't remember the name of this book, but it was so important. I'll find out the name. I think it's about something about a warrior, some kind of warrior. But the part in the book would go back to this. Where are you right now? Where are you? Because you could be tomorrow, you could be back in the past, you could be God even knows where, you could be like it, your mind. It's your mind. Your mind's everywhere, like the monkey mind. But if in the book, in this message, it says, "Where are you?" And you have to say, "Well, I'm right here." Okay, so what's happening right here where you're at? Well, right here while I'm at, I'm fine. I'm in my room, and it's a nice day. There's nothing happening. There's nothing happening where you're at. No, I'm just right here. Well, okay, so now breathe where you're at. Where are you? You're right here. There's nothing happening to you. There's no trauma happening. All that trauma you're thinking about happened in the past. All that trauma you're thinking about is possibilities in the future that you don't even know are going to happen. I mean, how many times do we have these things in our head that we are always not right here where we are, where we're present in this moment? And I invite everybody to think about that. Like, put yourself right, where are you? Where were you just a few minutes ago? Where are you now? You're right here and you're safe. Hopefully, you're safe right here where you're at now. And so that's, I think, a key to how I also was able to lift myself out through the years was to always settle myself. And when I work with clients, I'll talk to them that way too. Like, we have to get to where we understand that our here and now, our present moment, God is right here with us, right here and now. And so we ask God to like come and just sit with us, sit with me, be with me right now. And then that's like a opening part. It's the start. Ask for God to come into your life and help you right here and right now. Just take a moment. If you don't want to do that now, if you listen to this later, try it at a different time. For those of you that do not understand what we're talking about, it's a way to open the door to let God in. All you have to do is say hello, because God's right there. God's with you. God is really. And there was a song I wrote years ago now. It's like, my friend Jesus sitting right beside me. He's telling me a story. He's sitting right here. I mean, and it goes on and on. And one of these days I'm going to finish that song. I never finish it because I don't know. But it's really about God is always with us and always has been. And it's just right here. And all we have to do, really, through this holiday season is to just know that God is with us and you can make it through anything happening. Do prayer and fasting. And I mean, literally, just pray over your food. Ask God, just say, God bless this food. Thank you so much for this food. Thank you so much for this drink. Can you please help me to make better choices, God? God, I've been overeating a little too much. I overate. I ask forgiveness from my body for me overeating if it's made me sick. It's a continual conversation, and I think that that's what's made helped me so much. So I hope that helps with the process as people go through. And just know that when the time comes and you're sitting with your family and possibly you look over and your loved one's not with you, I just bet you that if in a moment, if you close your eyes, you can just think to yourself, remember the time when they were with you, and just cherish that moment and know that you're right there too. You're in that moment just as much as you are with in the moment where they're not there with you. How many of you can do this? Where, like, if I miss my mom, all I have to do is just remember my mom and I sitting there in her home, or when we go for a walk, and I'm right there with my mom, and my mom is right there with me. And so that's how I do my other things. Like when Thanksgiving comes and my mom's not sitting right with me next to me on the table, mom is right there with me because I can remember mom, and she's just like right there. So those are the things that I say can help people make it through the holiday blues. What do you think, Des?
Oh man, that was awesome. Ah, so beautiful. For so many years, I can confess, I used to have my friends that were, was it my, I used to have frenemies. My friends were, was my family. And so, and then a lot of the years I used to work.
Family's friend and
Yeah,
primitive.
Yeah, my friends was my family. And then a lot of years I used to work, especially for the holidays,
Yeah.
because I didn't have much. And then if I didn't, then I, would volunteer. But lately I've been spending it with my family. And being that have lost, well, I've lost a lot of people, and but I do have something to share, and I do believe in heaven, and I have always thought of that. Even when I was a Buddhist, I always thought of nirvana, enlightenment, and well, in my own theory, I think nirvana is heaven.
Yeah.
Again, like I think, like I think God's there, and people are just misdirecting it, and just like Buddha. Anyways, okay,
I
so
hear you. I hear you.
so I'll say this, and I'm going to be looking forward to this because my dad, that raised me, had passed, and also too, you know, Faye, like there's just like a lot that is the holidays is difficult, but there's something that there's a scripture, and then there's also something that I dreamt of, okay, in spirit. And it's Revelation 21:4. And it says, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There shall be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying. There shall be no more pain, for the former things have passed away. Right? And so in that moment too, there was like this huge, beautiful eye, right? And there was a tear that was trying, and a teardrop was like wiped away because it was saying, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying. And there shall be no more pain, for the former things have passed away. And so we know when we're God, with God always with us. Um, and then we're never alone, and so he's always with his children, and God just knows everybody's heart, so that's why I don't even listen to what other people say, because God knows everybody's struggle, everybody individually, one on one. And the other thing is that when in heaven, it's like your heart feels like it's brand new because the former things have passed away. So, as if imagine your heart never, ever, ever being broken, never, ever, ever being hurt, never, ever, ever having a disappointing, never hurtful, never nothing. I mean, just full, I think, exact, like never, ever, because all those former things are all gone. You're naming new. No more pain, no more death, no more sorrow, no nothing. Your heart is like, even because now I can, even me as a person, I can reflect, and it still hurts. But like when we're in heaven, nah, it's like nothing. So kind of like as a just inflated, just fully, completely, brand new. And so I saw that. I was like, wow. And so now I kind of dwell on this, and I digest this when I think of that. And I was like, yeah, but man, what a glorious place they are, to be in heaven and to feel so beautiful about you. And it kind of raises my frequency up and rises me up, and like, really, ah, I love this because this is God's words, and I believe in it, and I believe in his promises, and it's really cool. So, yeah, that's how I'm going to get through this holiday, with those that I'm missing, and the empty chairs, and moving forward.
God, you know what? Even when you were saying that, after you said that verse, and then you were saying it, it was like the greatest feeling to, it was a great feeling to like think of that. Wow. Can you imagine like to not have any of those experiences or pains that we've gone through since we were kids on up?
Right.
Like all the disappointment, all the pain, and just almost, but just saying it, it was almost like, ah, ah, ah. It was like lifting it off of you. And I think I like that. I like that as a, you know, I like, I think in my own experience, I believe that God has taken these things out of me. I believe that God has. I think that they're on like an imprint, just like a physical imprint can be a physical imprint into our fascia. Like now I'm talking all of these classes I do. Well, if there's an
Mhm.
adhesion in the body, you know, and I'm shocked that most of these people that they're not, they've not experienced what I'm saying. So I do think I have something to say if people don't even know what I'm saying, but they're understanding it in these classes and they're like, wow, I understand that. So
Mhm.
it is weird that I don't know how they don't know that already, but and I'm not saying exactly what they don't know. I'm just saying like there's things that I know that obviously maybe other people don't know, that it's an imprint in that fascia or in that adhesion that can not only just be an imprint for a tangled fascia, but it is a connection to an actual memory, or it's a connection to an actual uh, huge amount of pain that you didn't even
Wow.
realize was there. Like most people are like, I didn't even know I had a pain there because you're not, it's wrapped in an adhesion. And I think that this is how it works. I think we have all these little things that
Mm.
are wrapped either in the physical world or out here in the energy world, which expands all around us and all around in us and out of us. So I think these emotions are also tangled in those. And I think that what you just said about lifting them off and just visually saying, I'm just lifting them off, it felt freer to me just to even think about that. Thank you, Desiree.
Oh, you're welcome.
Can you
Wow, that
put
was,
that Bible, can you put that,
yeah,
whatever that was, that
the
numbers,
verse.
the verse?
Uh-huh.
See, I'm a newbie, really. I'm not, but I am
We are all.
new in this compared to like, well, when did we meet, Desiree? Like 3 years ago? Like just
I think
three,
we're doing pretty good for
4?
3 years. I mean, like, we're trying to move us forward. We're
Yeah,
moving
I
forward.
think when did so we met Bill Bean, and that was 2021, 22. I think I met you in 22.
We have gone, we have like God, we are evidence. God has been working on us. Like I have seen you change and transform. God's been working on you. I mean, like, myself, like it's been awesome. And I know it's just getting better and better, and
Yeah,
like it's gonna get awesomer and awesomer. I'm thankful to God. I'm thankful, my sister, from the
yeah,
same mister.
yeah.
21.
Yeah, and I think we probably could go ahead. I think we kind of it was my fault. I didn't see the text Des had sent to start the show. I got too many things going on. I'm like not paying attention. I didn't see it. I was looking for different locations. But anyway, so we started a little late. But now we're going to, I think we should go ahead and end the show. And I think it was really an important message. And maybe next week, Des, we could, kind of continue on and on that frame because, I think it'll be an important discussion, even if we just talk about it for a few minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah. I want to
I'm
go
on
ahead.
you.
Yeah, good. Because I mean, I think what you're saying, like you're talking about an empty chair, and then all of a sudden I'm thinking, wow, what a great title for a song. That would be so sad, the empty chair of, you know. But if we think of
Ooh.
it this way,
Mhm.
if we think of it this way, and we take these little nuggets, then what have you got to lose? I mean, it's only just trying to help you get through this because if some people they don't care, they're not having any issues at all. They don't have emotional issues. The holidays
Well,
are
the whole thing is, I was just gonna say, but if you are feeling this, know it's the Holy Spirit. Like, let that is the whole thing. Is like, let the Holy Spirit. Oh, I'm sorry. That would be if you're a believer. I apologize. I apologize. Let me reframe that. Right. But fill yourself with love and light, fill yourself with a higher frequency and positive things. And even in times when I was in the world, and seeking truth in love, I try to remember what I used to say is like, let me smile about the things that remain and not cry about the things that left. And so, and cherish that and know that. And so, and just, whatever it is that needs to be released, release it and understand that this is all part of the process. We're humans. There's grief, and if you need anyone or a light in your darkness, we are on the unseen realm also, yes. But
Yeah,
yeah, bring your questions there too, be kind to yourself, there's enough. The world is already hard enough, just be kind to yourself and, take it one day at a time and faith of a mustard seed's all you need.
yeah, that's so true. And gratitude. Like
Mm.
you're still walking, and you're still talking, and you're still you can move your fingers and you say thank you for all of that because that like those are the things, the little things, those are big things. So stay in gratitude, and the gratitude will give you the attitude that gives you altitude. Right?
Ooh,
It's true. That's one of the gratitude is the attitude that gives you altitude, and it's right.
that was cool.
All right, Des, we better sign off.
Yes, all right.
Next. I always think it's
For
Monday.
tonight too, right? You have tonight's
Yeah.
show too.
Oh, yeah, tonight we have a really neat, guest. His name is, Keith Evans, and he is an author, and we're going to be talking about vampires. He wrote a book about vampires, and so I'm actually interested because when I look at all of his work, I'm like, he has written a lot of really good books, and I think it's gonna be a very interesting look into this, story of the vampires. So, and we're a little late for it's not a Halloween. So it's but that's how it worked in the schedule. He's a great writer, so I'm looking forward to talking with him tonight on explaining the unexplainable, which is at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time tonight. All right, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Des, for being here, and hopefully, we'll start keeping up this communication and helping people as best as we can with the communication we have about prayer, fasting, good health, and staying connected to God. Thank you so much.